Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and we're going to be going through the 5 phases of modding. These phases apply not only to an individual character, but to your account as a whole, that when you look at modding for your entire account, if you follow these 5 phases, I promise you that you will end up with a well-modded account, you will actually save yourself resources, and you'll get complimented on how good your mods are because you're understanding the way that everything comes together in order to build those great mods that you see people posting in the Discord all the time. So go ahead, smash that like button, leave a like, leave a comment. I guess I said leave a like twice, but do it. Let me know your thoughts. Let's give a shout to the channel members again for just continuing to support me through good, bad, multiple videos in a day, no videos in a week. Very much appreciate you guys. You all are fantastic people. If you're ever interested, link down below along with the Discord server. So let's get into the 5 phases of modding, and yeah, hopefully you learned something. Alright, so let's just kind of preface this. I will be breaking down each of these phases in a video for itself, because each phase can take up a lot of time, and I want to make sure that I post videos where some people have complained, oh, you don't go into enough detail, and other people complain you do too much. So this is an overview of the 5 phases, and then I'll make a playlist and kind of put each phase, break down what encompasses it. So let's get started here. Your first phase, I like to call it the acquisition phase. Your main worry is the set, right? All we're worried about here is, did you get the right mod set? You know, you think about when you go to mod a new character. What's the first thing you do? You filter on the mod sets you want. You don't go for primaries right away, right? You think, okay, do I want speed, health, offense, critical damage, whatever it is. You're going to filter on those mods first, and then you're going to select from it, right? So it's the same thing when you're farming, that you've got to pick what mods you want to acquire. So again, you can't be concerned about, did you get, the perfect one? It's just, hey, get the set right. Now, in this phase, the one thing I will say is you're going to sell anything that doesn't have speed. If it doesn't have speed, don't upgrade it, sell it immediately. It's not worth keeping. I don't want you to think through this process that I'm devaluing speed or saying speed isn't important. You don't do anything on a mod if it doesn't have speed. Just when you think about when you're modding a character, do you immediately go for all of your fastest mods first, or do you find the fastest mods in that specific set? So you've got to worry about the set first, and speed is kind of just always there. It's always kind of encompassing everything. You got to have your speeds right, but you got to get the set, the set's more important. Especially now, I'll say that back in the day, there was a lot of players who would kind of mix, they do a speed set, and then they do 2 missed match mods in order to get their character, a couple of speed faster. That's not really relevant anymore, because there's very few battles now where moving first is the end-all be-all. That, like, if you go first in that fight, you're going to win it 90% of the time. That's no longer the case anymore. That moving first is nice, but many counters don't really need you to move first. It's just about having the right, counter to beat that team. So, moving first is not everything. So I just want to make sure you guys recognize that. It's much better to have complete sets, especially when you get relic levels on them, because that first turn, you're not really going to get to do crazy things. So that is your, again, the acquisition phase. Early in the game, just kind of a quick overview. Early in the game, this just means that you're going to focus on acquiring mods through mod challenges. The 3, I kind of say that early in the game, your big 3 is speed, offense, and health. Because speed and offense take 4 mods to make a set, and health makes 2. So you can kind of do like offense set and health set, speed set and health set, or you can do 3 health sets. Because characters can all fit into 3 basic categories. They want to have a lot of health and protection, right? They want to have a lot of health. They want to survive. They want to hit hard. Or they want to move fast, right? If you break every character in the game down, they kind of fit into one of those categories of, be a tank, move fast, or hit hard. I recognize that, tenacity, there's plenty of other mods. And yes, they all serve purposes and they all can be important. But the basic premise, if you're trying to mod your roster as efficiently as possible, and I could only pick 3 sets, it'd be health, speed, and offense. So focusing there early is going to be the best bang for your buck, and then we can get later into some of the other ones. So that's your acquisition phase, right? Your main worry is the set. Now, in the second phase of modding, right, I kind of call it the primary stat phase, right? So in this phase, all right, I've picked out that I need, a speed set and a health set. Now I'm going to worry about the primary stat. Okay, I don't want to put a defense mod on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I don't want to put a health mod on Jedi Master Luke because he wants protection. I'm not going to put a tenacity mod on, Rey. Like, we're going to mod them to match the primary stats that make them the best. This stage, what you'll end up doing is kind of selling bad matches. And an example of a bad match, I actually have a mod like this right now. So if I go in here, filter on my unassigned. So a bad match, just as a great example is, I know I have one. This right here. No, that's not it. Where is it? Hold on. I know I have one. Is it here? Yes, perfect example. So this mod is an offense primary, and it's a defense triangle. Like, that is a bad match. That makes no sense. This is an immediate sell, right? Like, I'm just going to sell this mod. I don't want to keep this mod. This is not worth my time. It's a terrible mod. We're going to get rid of it. So that's what I mean by bad matches. Find those mods that just don't match up, that don't make sense, that isn't going to help you. Another example here, a defense set with critical chance. That's garbage. That doesn't help me, right? Like, if I'm going to mod on a defense set, I want to have health. I want to have protection. Like, I don't need critical chance for them. Like this, and a crit chance with offense percent, right? That's a very good match, right? Like, that's a solid mod. That's a keep. So in the second phase of modding, as you're looking through a character and you're trying to figure out what's the best mods for them, you're going to look for, okay, the primary stat with speed still in mind, but I'm not going to just mismod a character so that way I can make them faster. Like, that's not smart. You will end up making your account worse because sacrificing 10 speed on a character so you can have better primary stats is well worth it, especially when you get to the later stages where relics begin to make a big difference that, maybe with a gear 8 character it doesn't matter. But you get to, relic 5 and all of a sudden those stats are really making a big difference. So in the primary stat phase, the second part of it, you're worried about, hey, okay, do I have the right primary stats for that character? And this kind of, you think about it, you farmed all the sets, so now I'm going to go in and figure out, okay, do I have the right primaries on these mods for this character? That's kind of your goal with the primary stat, and you sell anything that doesn't match up. Because we don't want to, like that defense one. What if that rolls good speed? Well, who am I putting that on? Right? Like, realistically, who am I going to, if this mod rolls speed, who does this go on? Right? One of the biggest mistakes I oftentimes see as a player will get a mod like this, and they'll be like, Phil, who do I put this on? And I'm like, nobody. Like, it's garbage. Just get rid of it. It's not worth your resources. So that's the primary stat phase. Again, it's probably the easiest phase to understand, right? You're just going to find the right primary stats for your character. But your main worry is always the set first. I think going for the primary stats first is a big mistake because then you end up with these mismatched sets and it's not worth it, right? So yeah, primary stats is the second phase of modding. Now, the third phase is the speed phase. Now, this doesn't mean that now you necessarily care about speed. That's not what I'm saying here. This phase is kind of when slicing begins. The idea with this phase is my characters all have that no longer does a 5 speed mod help me. I need 10 speed or 8. That getting 1 speed roll no longer matters to me. So for a lot of you with post light speed bundles, you're in these 2 phases up here, where you're probably in the acquisition where you just friggin' need mods and you need the right primaries, right? That's probably where a lot of you are at. The speed phase doesn't mean, oh, I start caring about speed now. It means that in this case, you're going to start focusing a little bit more on slicing mods because your characters all have speed on them. So now you're going to benefit more from, say, a single 15 speed mod than 4 or 5 speed mods. That one faster mod is much better to you than a couple lower speed mods. Because for me, if I just go to my, we'll filter on, I don't know, we'll go this way and we'll go to here and we'll filter here. So for me, look, I've got plenty of, 11, 12s, right? I've got plenty of these mods. So 115 speed is going to help me a lot, right? That's going to, give me a character. Or 120 speed is going to make a big difference for a diamond here. That's the thought process behind the speed phase. That one really fast mod is going to be better than a couple of slower mods on your account. because you've got them. You've got the speed there. Like, you've got the 14, 15 speeds. You got the 10 speeds. You need the higher ones. And that's kind of where you start slicing. You don't want to solely focus on slicing right in this phase, because you're still going to need to end up accumulating mods. But you can start to focus on it a little bit, because it is going to make a difference. And I want to pause here before we go further and just explain something. The reason why I don't encourage going crazy with slicing early in the game is that mod slicing is a massive drain on your resources. It's a massive drain on resources because you're using all this energy for a chance at a better mod, right? That you're getting a chance at one mod getting better. Well, on the flip side, maybe you could farm a mod that just gets faster because you farmed it. So again, I mean, everything with mods is kind of chance related, but with slicing, you inevitably will spend a lot more resources and get less out of it, in my personal opinion, early in the game. Later on, slicing is the way to go, because for me to find a 20 speed mod from mod challenges is going to be almost like, it's so rare. It's hard enough to get a speed secondary there. But when I just needed a single speed roll or 2 speed rolls, mod challenges were great. So this is, when you start needing more of those higher level speed mods, that's when you start slicing, right? That's phase 3. I call it the speed phase. It's when you're going to benefit more from one higher speed mod rather than a couple of lower ones. Now, the fourth phase, I had number 3 up. Fourth phase of modding, I call your speed +1. Basically, this is when you start caring more about those secondary stats. Like, okay, I've got, a 25 speed on this character. The only way it's going to change, the only way I'm going to change that mod is if I get one with better secondary stats. So, for example, if I went to, this mod here on Bo-Katan. So it's got 23 speed. It's an offense, right? The only way that I switch out this mod on her is if I get one that's got equivalent speed with like defense % secondary or health % or protection, that it's got better stats behind it that I can get more out of. Similar situation here. Only way this mod comes off of her is if, that tenacity would turn into maybe more offense % kind of thing. Those are the situations when speed +1. It's not just about finding a faster mod. Like if I roll a 25 speed mod, but it doesn't have, offense % on it, I'm not going to put it on Bo-Katan because she doesn't just, she's fast enough as is. I need more to that mod. That mod has to, recognize more. This phase, in my opinion, is when you're basically only focused on slicing, because you need as much out of that mod as possible. That, a good example here would be, like her mod here with these stats, I would value more than, let's see, where's 21 speed? Yeah, like R2-D2's mod here, right? So it's got, 1 less speed, defense, right? This one far better, or even, let's go to one that's faster. Like this one on CLS, right? It's faster than Bo's mod. It's got health %, it's got tenacity, but overall, the one with 21 speed to me is much better. It's got health %, protection %, like those stats are doing much more. So that's the situation where you kind of say that speed +1, right? That I need more than just speed in order to make that mod worthwhile, right? Now, with Bo's, I probably went a bit crazy and kind of bled into the next, phase, but the idea here is that you're not only focused on the speed, but okay, I need more, right? I can't just get a 25 speed mod. It needs to have extra stats on it because that's the way that's going to benefit my account. And that leads into the final stage here, which I call fine-tuning. Fine-tuning is finding those mods that are, I use perfect here in like perfect for the character. If we go to Ray, for example. So this mod here, it's got 20 speed, it's got health % and offense %. No rolls on the flat defense. This mod is almost perfect for Ray. Every single one of those stats helps her. If anything, I'd roll the health % off of here to try to give her more speed or more offense %. But this mod is, almost perfect for Ray, that every stat is benefiting her. Similar, down here, I got all my speed rolls and I got all offense rolls. It's got tenacity, it's got protection, all right, fine. But overall, all of the stats, all the stat rolls are going towards things that make her a better character. This is kind of that fine tuning, right? That you're finding those mods that every little piece of it is working to help that character. The thing I say with this phase that you have to be so careful of is what a lot of players make the mistake of is try to skip here. fine tuning is one of the biggest resource sinks in the game, because you're going to spend a lot of your slicing materials trying to get mods to gold. You're going to spend a lot of calibrations, which calibrations are not cheap, right? And, you know, in fine tuning, this is kind of that phase where I'd say that the vast majority of your resources are, I'd say like that you're going to get those mods from calibrating. That most of the time you're not getting that mod, trying to see if I can find an example, like on Maul here, right? You know, you look like this mod is a unicorn. That it rolled almost every, you know, rolled a little bit of flat protection, otherwise 5 on speed, 4 on offense, and I still have a calibration left. Whereas here, like you see, okay, offense, health, speed, all very good stats, but I've calibrated it. So, you know, your main source of getting those mods is calibrations when you're fine-tuning characters. So, the mistake here, do not skip to this phase. This phase is so challenging. Like, my roster is still not in fine-tuning. I'm much more in this speed +1 phase right now, right? That I benefit more from a lot of, you know, a higher speed mod with good secondaries. That's where I would say I'm at. That I've got the speed. Yes, I'm gonna benefit more from a 25 speed mod than I'm a 20 speed, but I'm gonna benefit more from a 20 speed with very good secondaries most of the time. So those are the mod farming phases, right? And that works for an individual character, that you're gonna break it down that way to figure out what the best mods for them are. It also works for you as, you know, your roster as a whole. That one thing I would encourage you to do with modding is, before you upgrade a mod, buy it from the store, whatever that case is, ask yourself, if it doesn't roll speed, or if it doesn't roll whatever stats are on it, you know, if it rolls all the defense, where are you going to put it? If you don't have a good answer to where are you going to place that mod, if some stats don't roll, it's probably not worth keeping. You know, that's just my 2 cents, if you will. So I do have a few mods here, if you're still watching, that I was going to upgrade for you, just to kind of give you an overview of what I'm looking for in a mod. So let's start here. This one, no speed, skip. No speed, skip. This one's a white mod, so if, you know, for some of you, what you do is you take this to 12, and there's no speed, skip, right? Move on with life. We're going to go down here to the diamonds. No speed, skip. No speed, skip. Here, we've got speed and offense percent. We're going to take a go at this. I'm going to level it to level 12. I don't want to go all the way to 15, because if it doesn't roll a good amount of speed, I'm not going to keep it, right? It's not worth it to me at that level. For some of you, this is an immediate level 15 because you just need the speed, you know, any kind of speed. So we're going to level it. And we got 10 speed, right? That's not bad. I'll keep that mod. Like, I can find somebody to put that on, right? Like, my stat only has, you know, 10, so I can find somebody to put that on. So that's no speed. So this one, with a mod like this, you take it to level 3, no speed, skip. Down here, similar situation, no speed, skip. And finally here, we're showing speed, so I will take it to 12. I'll try to see what I can get out of it. And we didn't roll any speed on it, so I'm just we'll sell that mod. So now we're gonna come here. So this one, what I'm looking for in this case, right, is it's got offense percent, doesn't have a great amount of speed to start, but it's offense percent, critical chance on a crit chance mod. So there's a couple of levels that this can benefit me. So we'll go ahead, take that to 12. And it rolled 8 speed. You know, maybe I'll hang on to it for the future, but probably can't find somebody for that, unfortunately. That one, no speed, right? This one here, green, we'll take that to level 9 to reveal all the secondaries. No speed, sell it. Similar situation here. No speed, sell it. So now we go up to arrows, and arrows are always hard for the way I have my filters, but here, like, that's a sell. No speed. Keep going here. Accuracy, I'm not keeping that. That's a bad match. Defense on a critical chance, that's a bad match, right? So we'll sell that. Let's go through, okay, and then, yeah, we'll sell that. So now we go to the triangles. No speed. No speed. Speed, but bad match, so no. So this one's kind of, like, we'll upgrade it just for the sake. At my level, if this rolled like 27 speed, I could find somebody for it probably. 0 speed rolls, sell, right? Let's go here. This one, we're definitely going to try and upgrade that, see what we can get. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's go. We'll take that. Health, crit chance. That is a beautiful mod. We're definitely keeping that thing. I can 1,000%. I could find somebody for that right now. That's a beautiful mod. All right, we're going to sell that. That's garbage. We'll see what this does. So it rolled speed, right? It rolled speed. We'll take a chance on this. So for me, so now here's kind of where I'm at. At this point, I'm not going to continue to take a chance on this mod. Only because if I look here on like this blue one, I don't have a ton of these materials right now, so I can't take the chance that, oh, it'll roll speed again. Like, just not worth me hanging on to at this point. And then critical damage, tenacity. So this one, for my level, it doesn't make sense for me to upgrade this, because either I get offense and speed, but then there's no tenacity on a tenacity mod, so to me that's kind of a bad match, so I won't keep that. And again, we'll go into this in a lot more detail in other, in the videos where we break it down. So this one, it's a health mod with defense. If I didn't get this for free from an event, I wouldn't ever buy this mod. But because it's sitting in my account, I'll try it. No speed, sell, right? You say, oh, Phil, it rolled offense. Yeah, but I need the speed. It doesn't matter. This one's similar situation. I'm not going to bother with that. Here, I will upgrade this to see if I can get offense percent secondary. So here, it's a health primary, but it's an offense set. So because there's no offense percent on the secondary, I'm not keeping it. It's not worth it to me. Here, we got a tenacity and tenacity, so that's a good match. But no speed, sell it. And then here, we have a tenacity mod, offense, Okay, it rolled speed, but no, here's the thing, it didn't roll tenacity, so it's not worth, again, in my mind, that's not worth keeping. So that's just kind of an overview to me, looking for mods to potentially keep or sell, but I kind of look for those little things to say, yes, is this good or a bad match? So that's the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the overview to mod phases. I'll break each one down in a lot more detail and hopefully help you get better mods in your account so that way you can farm them and understand where they're all coming from. So please, like, subscribe, comment down below. I love you all. May the force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.